Hi, my name is Anna Preston from Chicago, and today I am going to tell you about a regular Wednesday that turned out to be one of the most glorious days in my life where I exposed my greatest weakness. If you enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe. It was an ordinary Wednesday afternoon for the Ryan Smith legal law firm employees. During my lunch break, my father requested I make my weekly trip across the street to the local cafe to pick up drinks for us, and then meet him at the top of the building we both worked at to enjoy them in each other's company and discuss work from the morning. As I returned to the building with 2 grande lattes secured in hand, I noticed an open elevator across the lobby. People were still crossing the threshold at a lazy pace, so I hurried quickly, barely entering before the elevator closed, trying not to spill the coffee. The lame elevator music had died out a few weeks ago, but I would have definitely preferred its silly tunes over the intense silence that engulfed us as we began rising up the building.
So, I bet you're all wondering why I've gathered you here today.
I looked up from my shoes to see a man standing beside the elevator buttons. I looked around the elevator to ensure I wasn't the only one who was caught unaware by his proclamation. The strange man proceeded to slam his hand straight onto the emergency stop button.
Today's not your ordinary Wednesday. I would like to draw your attention to Miss Megan Williams.
I'm not. I turned around fervently in hopes that I'd find the real Megan Williams when a tall, red-haired woman behind me gasped and pushed me aside so that she could stand in the middle. All eyes are on Megan Williams in the elevator.
Yes, Megan, today is your special day.
Oscar, what's going on? I'm confused.
Well. It will all make sense when we arrive at our final destination. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the most magnificent you'll ever see in your life.
Oscar gestured grandly to the elevator doors, but nothing happened. We remained suspended in the elevator.
Why on earth did you press the emergency stop button? Yes, thank you for reminding me.
He pressed the emergency stop button again, but nothing happened. So, as any sensible man would, he started to pound the button several more times before the tall, balding gentleman aggressively pulled him away.
It's broken!
Broken? Oh no! It's all right. I'll just send for someone to help us. I made my way through the elevator crowd and pressed the emergency call button with my free hand, but only silence greeted us. Well, we're screwed. I hadn't noticed this boy in here before. He was incredibly short, 15 years old at most, probably even younger. What was he doing in a law firm building?
What are you doing here, dearie? Shouldn't you be playing outside? My father sent me to make copies of some statements he wanted to distribute at some meeting. He's Ryan Smith.
We all gasped. If this little kid's papa was the Ryan Smith, whose law firm we're all employed under, well, then he basically had us tied around his finger.
How are we going to get out of here?
I looked over to see who cried and saw him trembling from clenching his bottom tightly with both hands. Megan then appeared in the spotlight again, extending a petite hand towards the strange butt-clenching man. Is everything all right?
I was on my way to see a man about a horse. I should have taken the stairs.
Suddenly, chaos erupted. One man in the back with a horrible bowl cut started crying. Another short man was trying to convince the stout lady to let him climb on her back so that he could
reach the ceiling and kick through the top of the elevator as James Bond does in all of his action sequences.
No way it would work. You're not James Bond. You're Midget Man Supreme.
Megan started humming underneath her breath next to me. At first, I didn't pay her any attention. She was the least of my concerns since Midget Man Supreme was still trying to live out his thrilling James Bond fantasies. But As her humming grew louder and her pitch got higher, she became harder to ignore and increasingly annoying. Who breaks out into song when stuck in an elevator? Everyone else noticed her musical number increasing in dynamics too. Instead of shying away from their awkward stares, Miss Megan Williams embraced them. She smiled and sang louder. I looked over to see Oscar adding rich undertones to complement her high-pitched voice. Now, everyone is turning their attention with him, with incredulous amazement. The stout lady joined in next. She added impromptu oohs and ahs to enhance the lyrics. One by one, the rest of the occupants in the elevator, besides me, lost their grip on reality and joined in the chorus of voices. And toe-tapping percussion. That was all that the nervous butt-cheek clenching man could muster. Suddenly, everyone turned their eyes to me. Under their piercing stares and beautiful harmonies, my nerves caught fire. I, too, couldn't resist their siren song much longer. But I had a terrible secret, and no one could peer pressure me to divulge it. Unfortunately, the power of spontaneous musicals and concentrated eye contact forced me to reveal my greatest weakness. 8 other strangers, whom I'd never really met before, might have the displeasure of me again, unfortunately heard my demonic ballad. I joined their singing in the most off-key pitch I can muster. Eyes widened and strangled gasps interrupted the chorus. Oscar slowly walked up to me, looking determined. Dumbfounded, my screechy singing vanished. Ah! Ow! What the heck? Suddenly, the elevator bell dings, and the elevator begins rising. We acted like we had been teleported back in time, before elevators were standard modes of upward ascension.
Finally.
When the elevator slowed to a stop, we had reached the 19th floor. The elevator bell dings and the doors slide open to reveal a procession of 5 men dressed in suits with classy white suspenders and bow ties, alongside 5 women in short white dresses. They stand facing the elevator looking overjoyed and their hands clasped in front of their stomachs. They begin singing the same song Megan sang in the elevator. Everyone is surprised except Megan. Several pointing glares were being shot in my direction, a clear warning not to join in with my demonic singing. Little did they know, their ears were safe, for my resolve had strengthened. After the white-clad men and women are done singing, a young man appears. He strides towards Megan, takes her hand gently, and speaks to her quietly. With bated breath, we watched as he lowered himself on one knee to procure a ring from his pocket. Megan started to cry, as did the nervous butt-clenching man, and we cheered for the happy, newly engaged couple. The firefighters eventually found us and made sure we were all right. After they were satisfied, they taped an out-of-order sign next to the elevator and exited down the stairs. The rest of the elevator hostages, as Midget Man Supreme started calling us, gradually dispersed to attend the rest of our daily tasks and meetings. Megan Williams and her fiancé were hugging, and their singing processions were chatting with Oscar. I took a sip of lukewarm coffee, sighed, and took the stairs to meet my father for what would be a long, fun chat about how a typical awkward elevator ride with a group of strangers led to wonderful chaos.